Good morning. It is Sunday and day one of the Potentia challenge, which if you don't know me, hi, I'm Abby. I'm the author of The Power of Shadows, and also I'm embarking on a new challenge. For 30 days, I am going to finish this draft. So I'm working on this book called Potentia, which is a dark academia rivals to lovers novel about people who can defy the laws of physics if they understand them well enough. So part of that challenge is, and if you want the full details, you can watch the video up here, but part of that challenge is some rules for myself. So normally on a lovely Sunday morning, I might start slow, and my first instinct was to open YouTube, and part of the challenge is that I'm not watching YouTube. Instead, I'm going to write in the mornings. So here we are. Hello. I'm going to write out my writing goals for the day, and then maybe we should find our way to a coffee shop, because my apartment's a little bit of a mess, and if it's a mess, I won't be able to focus. So that's what's on the docket, and I'm excited for you to come with me. Right, I finished doing my goals for the day. I think my goals are going to be to finish writing the scene I was working on, and then write 2 more, so 2.5 scenes, and then revise 3 of the scenes on my list. So, very reasonable day. For this challenge, I need to be adding like 1,300 words a day, but since it is a weekend, I'm going to have way more capacity today than I will for the rest of the challenge, so it would be fantastic if we could get really ahead on that goal. And, you know, a little gift to future Abby. So that's the plan. Next step is a little breakfast, and then let's get out of the house and find some coffee. It is voiceover Abby coming to you for the first time, and basically I went on a little trek out to a cute coffee shop. I took the train, and I really had to hustle. That's what you don't see because I couldn't record it, but I was really gonna miss this train, and I didn't want to because the next one was 15 minutes after that. So I ran for the train and then made it to the coffee shop, thankfully. What a great way to get my adrenaline up and running. Nothing's better than a quick run to start your day. Forced run. Anyways, here was the coffee. This was far too hot, so no, I did not take a sip here. But I do take other sips later in this writing session, which you shall see. But I was writing a lot. It was really good progress, and I was feeling good about it. Oh yeah, sorry, I meant to give you a warning if you didn't like egg yolks. I do though, so that was personally really satisfying. Anyways, I started some Pomodoro timers, little 25-minute sprints to see how many words I could get in that time frame. And then here's an empty cup to all my friends who say I don't finish my drinks, because I don't usually, but I finished this one. That is proof. And then I went to a park because I wanted to keep writing and stay out. It was a beautiful day, and there's a lot of dogs in this park, and they came up and sniffed me. I did not record all of them, but here's one for you. Hello. And that's it. It's almost noon, and I'm now walking back from the coffee shop. I took the train there, but I thought I'd get some good exercise in and just kind of think about where the story wants to go. It was a very productive morning, especially going and just writing and getting started on the day before sitting down and getting distracted by anything else. I think it made a huge difference. It was crazy. Already by 10:30, I'd had so many words down on the page and way more progress and momentum than I would have on a regular Sunday. So I'm very excited about day 1 so far. I completed 1 task of 1 scene revised, and then I completed the scene that I'd been working on, and then I started writing the next scene that needs to be added after that, and this is all in the beginning, so it is going a little bit slower just because I'm being really intentional with how I want the story to be set up. I wasn't really happy with the intro and kind of first few chapters before, and since I've made so many changes to the world building and setup, I think there needs to be a lot more work put in to introduce the reader. And so it's not the fastest going but it is kind of good that I get some space and time to be really intentional about each sentence and how things are being introduced. So good progress, not fast progress, but still a really good morning so far. Hello, I am back from the coffee shop and I ran into this cute little art market on my way back and I met a lovely artist and got a little package, so let's unwrap it together. So this artist does mixed media and she had a lot of different scenes from around San Francisco and California, and it was so hard to pick because they're all so beautiful, and I don't know, I just love supporting local small artists. Anyways, it's this adorable little collage of the painted ladies. And I was watching this video the other day about mixed media and like an artist explaining the process and things like that. And they talked about using ephemera in their mixed media art, which is like, you know, ticket stubs and the little things that would normally be disposable in your day-to-day. But like here, there's a trolley ticket, and actually to the side, there's a parking ticket, which sealed the deal for me because if you don't know San Francisco, then you're probably not familiar with this, but there's a lot of parking tickets. There's so many rules on every road, and it's just kind of inevitable that you'll get at least one. So, yeah, super cute. I'm gonna add it to my collage and then continue with the next writing sprint. Okay, finished sprint 1. It was 20 minutes and I got 527 words added. I'm trying to focus on just getting more words on the page rather than ensuring that every single one's the right one. I'm going to go through and edit it anyways, so I just want to get the general ideas down rather than getting bogged down in each individual sentence. That's been working pretty well. It is around 2 now, and so if we're checking in on the full goals for the day, I did finish writing that first scene that I wanted to write, and then we're on the second one. I still need to get to the revising 3 scenes and then writing 1 more scene. Big stretch goal. We've already added a lot of words for the day, but need to keep kind of going since this is going to be one of my bigger opportunities and larger chunks of time. It's not often that I get a nice uninterrupted Sunday like this, so I want to make sure to make the most of it. All right, so next we'll go into another sprint, and I'm thinking that I might be able to finish this scene in the next sprint. I'm hoping so at least, and then I should be able to get on to the revisions, which hopefully shouldn't take as long. I mean, you know, knock on wood, but that should move along more quickly. So let's get into the next sprint. So here's the deal. I finished sprint 2, another 20 minutes, and I got 440 words down. I did, in fact, finish the scene that I wanted to finish, although I am now thinking that I'm going to need... So it's a dual POV book, and I'm now thinking that I'm going to need just 1 more turn of the other person's perspective on the same event. So that's going to be 1 more scene. But luckily, I did have a vague write 1 more scene on my to-do list after finishing those 2 specific scenes. So this could fit the bill for that to-do list item. I have to edit 3 scenes in addition to that. I might switch to editing now, just to kind of have a different change of pace for my brain. My back's hurting a little bit sitting in this chair, but I only have a little bit more time before I have to go to a workout class, which will be another good change of pace. So it is 2:17 now. I have to leave in about exactly an hour from now, 3:20. So I'm gonna do another sprint, this time of editing a scene, and then I'll come back and finish writing the other perspective of this event. I started it in the last sprint, and then I just need to kind of finish that, and then that'll kind of bring my new idea for the beginning kind of into a generally good place. These new scenes that I'm adding in the beginning are changing the introduction a lot, but I think are setting a much better foundation. So with these kind of done in place, I think it'll be a lot easier for later parts of the story to naturally kind of fall into place. So with that, I'm gonna go edit a little bit. So instead of revising, I drew a calendar. Now, I didn't do this in the initial thing, but I was feeling like I kind of might want a little bit more structure, just so I can have a general idea of where I am in the 30 days and how close I am to finishing. I also realized I need to schedule in some time to do a full final read through and go through and make sure there are no blatant errors and mistakes and things, because once I go through all of these revisions and do the writing all the way till the end, I know there's gonna be things I want to change again. So I built in the last week to be those additional revisions, which means I'm gonna need to be a little bit more aggressive in the beginning here, which is good because I'm trying to start strong anyways. But also I have little boxes so that I can just keep ticking things off and get a little satisfaction of seeing it on the board, and keep having fewer and fewer empty boxes. So this is my little detour. Now I'm gonna revise. I promise. No more procrastination. I'm really gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Revised the scene, I got changed for Pilates, and did a few chores. So overall, a very productive hour or so. It's now 3:20, so I have to head out. And then when I come back, before I revise the next scenes, I think I'm definitely gonna have to finish writing that end to the event. So the additional perspective I was talking about before. So I'm gonna tackle that first, and then get back to revising 2 more scenes, and then I might actually finish all the goals I set out for myself today, which would be crazy because normally I am way over ambitious. So that would be pretty exciting and a really good start to this challenge. So yeah, I'm gonna go sweat it out, and then I'll talk to you soon. Hello. It is almost 6 now, 5:43. I came back from Pilates, made a little smoothie bowl and showered, and now I am ready to get back to writing. I had a lot of good thoughts. Also, I was eating my smoothie since I am not watching YouTube this month. And that's normally my go-to mealtime activity. I read a little, so that was exciting. I'm reading the new Emily Henry book, which has been very good so far. And then I just sat and thought and was thinking about my book. And I think I realized I haven't had a lot of that downtime to just do kind of the, background mental work around thinking through scenes and kind of what's going to go on. So that was an interesting observation. And now I'm gonna do another quick writing sprint. I added 651 words of that scene. It's not quite done, but it is almost done. I think one more writing sprint and I'll be able to finish that one up, which would put us to the 2 scenes written, that 1 scene finished and 1 scene revised. So I would just have to revise 2 more scenes in order to finish tonight. I told my friends that I would spend some time with them now. It's 6:35, so I'm gonna go do that and have a little break and then come back and hopefully be able to wrap up for the night. Hello. It is the end of day 2 and a little check-in. Well, not necessarily the end. It's 8:35. So what have I done today? Well, I woke up a little too late, so I did not wake up and write. And then work kind of blended into the evening, so I did not write right after work. And as far as yesterday, when I was very optimistic I would finish my goals, I did almost finish writing that one scene, but I did not revise 2 more, so I didn't quite make it there. But we're gonna keep soldiering on, celebrate what we did do, and the night is still young. It is, only 8:35, so there's at least 1 more hour left in the day. So we still have time and opportunity to get some things done. If we're looking at the calendar, today I'm supposed to write one and revise one, which if we're borrowing, I can finish writing that one, the scene I was working on before, and then I should be able to transition into revising the next one. So yeah, it's not the end of the world. I'm having myself a lovely little class, and we'll see if we can get some good progress. And even though I did not get a lot of writing done today, I did not watch YouTube, so that was good. And overall, I am having more empty time to just think about my story. So even though I didn't write at the designated times that I had hoped to, I'm still definitely letting it percolate during the day rather than having it be completely out of sight, out of mind. So that is good. With that, I feel like, we're really getting into the repetitive with that writing sprint, and the same nice background you're seeing. But I think that's what a lot of this month is going to be. Hopefully it'll be fun to hear me talk, and at the very least, it'll be nice to look back and see kind of my thoughts as the process evolves. So let's go. Hello. So that writing sprint finished, and I did 30 minutes and got 688 words, which is pretty good. And even better than that, I am almost to the end of this scene, and I am really liking where it's going. I am happy with the changes at the beginning because we're getting a lot more of their dynamic early on, which I think will help draw the reader in a lot more, because I do think that that's the strongest part of the story. And kind of, I know one of my stronger points as a writer is writing the banter and kind of like the dynamic between characters like these. And my hope is that this will draw people in and make them care about these characters, and then that'll make them care about the world and the kind of like denser aspects and the bigger arguments I want to make about larger topics that are a little bit more nebulous and harder to care about if you don't have a touchstone or a specific person that you're rooting for. So, all in all, I'm really pleased with the direction of things, and I just need to finish up, really honestly, a few more sentences of this, and then I can get to revising the next scene. I actually revised the scene after this, but then the one after that kind of had tie-ins to the changes I was making here. So now that this one's complete, I should be able to get rolling on the next one. Yeah, I honestly, I might be able to finish my goals today. I think, yeah. I'm not going to speak too soon like I did yesterday, but feeling good about this one. It's day 3. I'm not sure where we left off, but I did a little bit of revision on the bus after work today, and I got so much done. It was crazy. I felt like I was flying through. I was all over it. I thought that I was going to get really all of the scenes revised. I was like, what if I just did them all tonight? And then I'd be ahead. Then I found some more scenes I hadn't originally accounted for, but all in all, I did get several more done than I had originally slated for the day, and it's only 9 p.m., which for night owl writer hours is a young night. We still have time. So I'm gonna keep revising and getting through. And I did slip up on the 1 game rule, both tonight and last night, if I'm being honest. Last night it was for my friend's birthday, and tonight I just did. But I am doing a lot better about when it's just me time writing instead of doing other things. So I'm still getting more done than I usually do. And it's feeling sustainable. Knock on so much wood, you won't even believe. But I'm gonna go do some more revisions, and I think this is a good place to wrap up the first vlog of this series. I'm, there's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of times where I felt far more optimistic than my reality, but we'll keep going, and I'm feeling very good about this challenge, and I'm thinking that, we might be able to make it, but we'll see. I guess we'll do it together. Catch you in the next one.